Hey Primetimers, what's going on? It's Dominic, the Primetime Treasure Hunter. Thanks for coming by to check out another video. It feels like it's still Friday, but it's technically Saturday. It is about 1 o'clock in the morning. Just made another sale and I want to share it with you because I think it's something that if you haven't picked these up before, you'll see them around at flea markets and garage sales, and sometimes you could even get them for like 25 cents. And these are these Archie Digest comics, and so you may have seen these when you're walking around the grocery store. That's how I was first introduced to them when I was younger, and I used to go to the grocery store with my mom, Mama Primetime. The first thing I used to do, and we used to get into the ShopRite, for those of you East Coast folks, I used to walk right over to the magazine section. I used to pick one of these up, and she probably loved it because I just kept quiet the whole entire time, just walking around the whole store, just reading these. And the funny thing is about these that I never actually owned any of them, because by the time we got to the end of the store, I just put them back on the shelf, and that was it. So I never really collected them, but I read them all the time. So I love the old Archie books. There's lots of titles. There's Archie Andrews. So you may not know that's Archie's last name. So if you're ever on Jeopardy and they ever ask you that, remember that, and maybe you'll win the Daily Double or something because of that. And you know, there's a whole bunch of them. You can see the titles on the side. There's Jughead with Archie. There's like a whole bunch of them, and you could get these for like a quarter sometimes, or you could just pick them up at an estate sale like that. That's how I got these, actually. I just grabbed them out of an estate sale. I put them in a box and got them for just like a few bucks. I listed these this morning. Now, they're mostly vintage. There's only one of these that is modern that I just threw in the lot, but there's 18 total, and they go back to the 1970s or some 1980s ones as well, and sold them by the end of the day for 30 bucks. So it's 18 for 30 bucks. That's not bad. I mean, it's not a massive you know, amount of money or anything, but it's a nice profit for a couple dollar investment. And so if you see them and you can pick them up for just you know, like a quarter or so, or just grab a bunch of them off of a bookshelf at an estate sale, do that. Grab them, you know, garage sales or whatever, and just toss them in. So these are the Archie books again. Inside, they just, you know, look like cool little digest version stories. They're just little short comic books. That's all. So I'm going to pack these up, get them ready, and we will head out for some treasure hunts and see what exciting things await us this weekend. Can't wait. All right, everyone, so it's Saturday morning, about 9:25. We are going to start the treasure hunt at a local VFW. That's a Veterans of Foreign Wars building, if you're not familiar. Just check in your local area for them. They usually will have a sale about once or twice a year, either inside or outside the building. Sometimes a combination of the two, depending on the weather outside. But there's a lot of old timers that will set up there, so it's a good opportunity sometimes to get some nice vintage items for a good price. Going there for me is sort of symbolic, even though it's not a huge place. I'd say that because Aaron Klug, who watches this channel, loves when I say huge, and he sent me a message this morning to tell me that, so kind of cracks me up. I thought I'd throw that in there. But even though it's not huge, there's it's symbolic for me, again, because a couple of years ago when I started to kick things back up into my reselling business and to branch out into other areas besides comic books, I went there and I bought a wooden Pepsi sign. There was glass, and behind the glass there was a foil. So it was a foil wood Pepsi sign, and I picked it up for like $1, and Mrs. Primetime kind of looked at me and said, I don't really like that thing. I don't think that's going to sell. And within about a week or so, it sold for like $35 or something. And that was one of the items early on that kind of, you know, re-hooked me back into starting the reselling business. So it's fun now to see how much things have grown to kind of go back there. I actually have not been back. Maybe I was back there one other time since then. I don't think the second time I found much. So let's see if we find anything there today. Okay, so here we are at the local VFW. You can see that there's this open area here that we could source in. There's one old timer set up out there. So we will go and check things out and see what we could find. $5 on the jeans? Yeah. All right. I love them. They're really cool. So what would you do for the 2 pair of jeans here and this one here, like three sets of jeans?
About 5 and 3 for the other one.
Okay. So 5, 8, 11?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. We have a Shih Tzu named Daisy, and this really reminds me of her. So I'm gonna send this over to my wife and see if she wants it. How much you want for that?
$1 a piece.
This is hilarious. this would so be my dog Daisy at the beach. So wait, you have 12 of these? They're all different?
Each envelope is
Each envelope is a different one? And a dollar, how much would you do for all of them?
$1 a piece. $12.
Okay, 12 bucks.
Brand
Yeah.
new almost.
All right. How much do you want for Mr. Six? Because I don't know if he works. It doesn't. I mean, it takes a battery, but it's an odd battery. It's one of those tiny ones back here.
Yeah, those button batteries.
Yeah, and I don't have one with me.
5.
Okay. Well, what do we have? What do we have on that so far? We've got
12.
12 plus 11.
That's 21.
So we got 21. Would you do everything for 25?
Plus
25
that?
bucks for everything?
Plus that?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for
Yeah.
it.
All right. Thanks.
Sounds good.
All right. So this Muppet here, what do you want for this one?
Give me $3. Over the 25.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Sure. Okay, so we'll do 28. Awesome. You want to come home with me? Yes, I do. I want to come home. All right. I saw this exact helmet last week at the flea market. Were you selling it last week? No? I saw this exact one. Did you buy it there? He bought it there. I always tell you to look at horror DVDs, and this series here is pretty good, Krampus. So I'm gonna pick these 5 up for $5. 2 of them just sold recently for $12.95 plus shipping. So these will definitely be a good pickup. By the way, always make sure before you purchase these that you open up inside to make sure they're actually in there. A lot of people think that VHS cassettes are dead, and that's not the case. It depends on what it is. So these are hard to find. They never came out in DVD format. So these old McDonald's ones, they're great for McDonald's collectors. They come in these nice cases, 50 cents a piece. So it's going to be $2. They're worth about $30. So definitely going to pick these up as well. And the funny thing is, I just met another reseller couple who picked these up and put them down, but I guess they didn't check the comps on them. But you know, got to check comps when you're out. All right, so we did really well there at that local VFW. As you can see here, I picked up a new friend. He is really having a lot of fun just checking out things in the Primetime Treasure Mobile. Is it all that it's cracked up to be? Is it all that it looks like when you watch it on YouTube? Yeah. All right. So he's excited that I found them. A great pickup for just $3. That's all you cost, was just $3, man. Yeah, he's excited. So this, if you need help with your animal identification, now this guy here, he is a sloth. Hey, what? You are a sloth. He does not like, I guess, when we call him a sloth. So do you want us to just call you by your brand name? Is that what you want to know? Yeah, you want to know your brand name. Okay. So this is called a Mopkins. M-O-P-K-I-N-S, and it's made by Win Miller. And one that looks very similar to this recently sold for $65. Now, I don't know, you may be so popular here on the YouTube channel that I may not be able to sell you now. You may be a permanent member of the cast. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm going to feel sad now selling you, and I don't like when I have to feel guilty about selling my stuffed animals and plushes. I already have enough guilt about Cookie Monster and Oscar the Grouch. I still have Pink Panther sitting down behind me, so I'm not sure what to do here. But $65 is probably the max that I could get out of this guy right here. So we're excited. We're gonna head out. Yep, I know we got to get going. We got to wrap this up. We got to head out to an estate sale. #1 estate sale dealer. That's right, #1. We are gonna go over there and get on the list, and we've got a sale there tomorrow. So probably gonna even try to hit the flea market up in the morning. Yeah, you can't come to the flea market, so I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry about that. It's just it would just be too much, man. All right, so anyway, let's head over there and see what we can find. Yeah, he's excited. All right. Beautiful fall day here, by the way, in central New York. You would not know it. I mean, it is nice and warm out. It's about 80 degrees. We're pulling up to the estate sale right here. You can see all the cars lined up. We're just going to get on that list. There's someone outside there taking numbers, so we're going to get on there, wait, and see what number we've got. Here we go right there, this red house. This is the one, and looking forward to tomorrow.
Laurie.
She's my friend. She's coming. Can she go on the list?
Put her at the end. Dominic.
Right here.
Diana. Okay.
All right, so I'm going to tell you what number that I got at this state sale sign up in just a moment, but I thought that this would be a great opportunity to talk to you about estate sale signups, especially if you're new to my channel or if you have never been to an estate sale before. It's important to know the details. Now, some people won't have any type of estate sale sign up. Typically, this is through families who are running estate sales, and they'll just say, here's an estate sale. Whoever shows up first gets in. But estate sale dealers will typically have some type of sign-up approach, and often it's a sign-up sheet. Typically, it's called sign and leave. So what that means is that you would just sign up on a list. It's pre-numbered, and whatever number corresponds to where your name is, that's the order of entry the next day. Some will have you take a number that actually gets pulled off, and then you just present that number, but most of them will have the sign-up sheet. Now, this one's a little bit different, and this is why you have to pay attention to the rules which are posted at the actual sale by the sign-up sheet, and they are also posted in the classified ad for the estate sale. So in this one, what you have to do, and I've explained this in some prior videos, but you can get there a little bit early. So this one was for a sign up at 12 o'clock, which is what it's advertised, sign up at 12 o'clock. But if you want to get there early, they typically have someone there about a half hour to an hour early, and you could get on what's called a pre-sign up list. So let's say you get there and you sign up and you get at number 4. Does that mean that you're number 4 the next day when you get in? No, because you have to pay attention to the rules. What they do is they make sure that you are also there at 12 o'clock, the actual sign-up time. So it's basically a way to give you a spot, but then they will call the names out. And if you are not there, if you walked away, if you signed up on the pre-sheet and you are number 4 and you're not there, guess what? You are not on the formal list. So when I came and I signed up on the pre-list, I was number 27. Now, what number you're at could really determine if you're going to get in on that first wave or not. Often, for a small house like this, they let 25 people in. Even though I was at 27, I wasn't worried because there's always people who sign up and walk away thinking that that pre-list is the actual formal list, and it's not. So they start calling people out, and I actually wound up getting number 22. So 5 people who signed up on the pre-list actually wound up getting burned because they didn't wait around. So you have to wait around. That's the process. And you saw or heard actually what they said when that one person tried to get her friend on the list when her friend wasn't there. Not going to work with a lot of estate sale dealers. You have to be physically present to get in. So I typically come like 10, 15 minutes early. Sometimes like last week, I'm like right there, right before, like a minute before, but it still typically is enough to get me in on that first wave. So that's how estate sale signups work, and I just wanted to make sure I pass that on to you. If there's any questions, just let me know in the comment section. All right, so this is the second week in a row where I've seen some big furniture pickup items right by the estate sale. So I'm gonna check some of these out. There's some more in the area I saw down the street, so maybe there's something good that Mrs. Primetime could use. Okay, so no to the furniture because this is pressed wood, but take a look at this. And take this off. And right underneath here, we have got this Arvin heater, and it is in here. It works. It's in the original box. Well, he says that it works. I'll show you the model number here. You could look it up yourself if you want to. 49H20-1. There's only one of them available right now on eBay. It's $80 plus $40 shipping with 3 watchers. So this is considered a vintage item. I am definitely going to pick this up and toss it in the Primetime Treasure Mobile. Can't beat free stuff. Okay, so here you can see I've got it loaded in. So this is great. You can't beat free, and he told me it's big pickup day on Monday, so I'm gonna cruise around and see if there's any other good things that I could find. Don't worry about the size of this. Again, it's free, so you know, even if the shipping is $40 and it wound up selling for 80 bucks, that's 80 bucks profit minus the fees. So this would be great. Just got to test it out when we get back. You know what's funny about that? You know, if this guy had $120 just sitting there on the side of the street, do you think he would just say, here's $120, just take it, it's yours? No way. But because this is something that's big and it involves time and you got to find the person to buy it and take pictures and all that kind of stuff, you know, he's just fine just giving it away. So that's how you have to look at it. Look at it as a reseller, as just free money, just sitting right there for you to grab. That's how you got to think of it. This is another perfect example, just laying right here. These shutters, there's nothing wrong with them in terms of they're not broken or anything like that. They need to be touched up. As long as you're willing to put the time in to touch them up, and Mrs. Primetime will do that. These here, these are about 6 foot tall shutters. These, I'm just gonna toss them in the back of the Primetime Treasure Mobile. See, all this stuff is dust. You just gotta look past this type of stuff. These could go for probably around 50 bucks for the 4, maybe even more than that. So just gonna toss them in the car right now. All right, we are all loaded up and let's go look for some more treasures. There's my competition right there. I think that's a Craigslist hunter maybe. What the heck, Pete? Again, just craziness. So take a look at this item right here. You can check the comps yourself. Victorio strainer number 200. Looks like everything is in here. And this one just sold for $75 pre-owned. Plus, even if, let's say I get home, I take it all out and everything, and I find that there's something missing, these parts sell for this thing. This thing is popular. I've seen them sell. This is in great shape, so definitely gonna toss this in there as well. Filling up. It's another example right here, solid wood chair. Mrs. Primetime said she could use this to combine with the desk that she's working on. So FYI, if you pick up shutters, you have to be careful about how you align things in the trunk, because if anything sticks in against these slats, they will snap and break and then they won't be worth anything. So you have to position it really carefully. All right, so check out what we've got in here. I came up on this, it was locked. I popped the lock open on the side, and what we've got here are some Riddell roller skates, and these are vintage. There is a size 7 of these that sold recently for $140 plus $35 shipping. Now I'm gonna have to do some restoration on these to clean these up, but I'm definitely gonna pick these up. Vintage roller skates are great pickups if you could find them, especially name brand like Riddell. So these are going with me. I do not normally come through here when I go to garage sales, but this is the famous Dinosaur Barbecue, one of the best barbecue places in the country. You definitely got to stop by here if you come to Syracuse. All right, so this is going to be our final stop off of the day, because as you can see, the Primetime Treasure Mobile is getting pretty filled up. But Melanie, who I've talked about before, many of you may have seen her on my YouTube channel during live shows. Her name is Metal Flippin' Mel. She's really cool, and she was telling me that there is a horror and science fiction garage sale today, and it's in a big venue. It's actually called The Venue. It's in the north side of Syracuse, which is where I am right now. So thanks, Melanie, for giving me the tip. Now, I'm not sure how much I'm able to turn the camera on inside of there, but I already drove by and saw everybody is dressed up like vampires and stuff. So I don't care what they're dressed up as long as they could be goblins, zombies, it doesn't matter to me, as long as there's good deals to be had. So let's go inside, check it out, see if I can find some good stuff. Okay, so a hearse, this is a first.
And then like, hey, what you know, this stuff you sell.
All right, This was good. Thank you, Melanie, for pointing me over here. This was a really nice score with these vintage Halloween items. I'll talk to you more about them later. It's time to get back to Primetime Treasure headquarters though. All right, well, we are back at Primetime Treasure headquarters, and I am gonna unload the Primetime Treasure mobile in just a few moments. But before I do that, I wanna show you Mrs. Primetime's finished furniture project. If you go back each video, you will see steady progression of this, but now it's complete, and she's gonna list it on Facebook Marketplace in just a moment. Let me show you what this turned into. Okay, so over the prior weeks, you have seen different stages of this project that my wife, Mrs. Primetime, has been doing. And this is the final version of it here. You could see it is totally painted, and she did a great job distressing it. So it has that nice vintage look to it. She is so creative. She does such a great job with this stuff, and she's so modest about it. She waxed it and everything. So this is all set. She is going to list it on Facebook Marketplace tonight for $225. So that's good because, you know, it reflects the craftsmanship that she put into it and the time that she put into it as well. Although, you know, for her, this was really a fun project for it that she just did on the side. She really enjoyed it. She did both sides right there. And back here, she did part of it and left that part right there, the regular color, because that's going to be against the wall here anyway. So it's okay to keep that part like that. And you can see here that I have taken out some of the things that I wound up getting today. So this chair, she is going to pair it with this one right here. I told you this is the next project of hers. And so she's gonna work on this next. This is the color paint that she wound up getting this week. That Oops paint I was telling you about, she got it at Lowe's for $9. That's when they mix something by accident or someone doesn't pick something up that they ordered. So she was looking for blue anyway. So this is gonna be her new color. She's gonna make this and this one here the same color. And so she's gonna pair them together. So it's gonna look like they were meant to be together. So that was her vision for that. And this is these slats and shutters and everything, and you could just see how tall these things are. These things are just crazy big, so I just gotta wipe them down. Some of that yellow stuff that you see on there, I already just wiped some of it down, so just gotta be cleaned up, stained and all that type of stuff, and we'll be good to go. Those are the shutters that I picked up previously. So she's got a nice little shutter collection going. You know, she's working on one project at a time, and she's having a lot of fun with it, and it's bringing in some nice extra money. So these are great things to get and work on if you like doing this stuff. All right, let's test this thing out right here. If it works, we should hear a noise and I should feel some heat coming off of this. So I'm just gonna plug it in and let's see what happens. Yes, okay, perfect. Yeah, I feel the heat coming right off of it. It's the second week in a row we've got some kind of vintage heat item. So this is really cool. So this is great. I should be able to get over $100 out of this based on what it's going for right now on eBay and the watchers and everything. This will be, you know, pure profit minus the shipping and the fees. So great that this works. So I'm not wasting any time trying to get these restored. First step is just to get some of that mildew scent out of these. So I'm just spraying them down with some Febreze, and we'll take it from there after that. So I laid all these Shih Tzu flags out. They are so funny. I want to show you all of them. But Daisy is Daisy's curious too to see what they look like, right, Daisy? Want to take a look? So there's one for each month, basically, and I could sell them for the year, or I could sell them individually, piece them out. I looked at comps for them, and looks like they go anywhere from like 10 to 20 bucks. They're actually in various states. They're not completely new because whoever had them before taped some of them up and left some tape marks on them, so you could see that on some of them. But nonetheless, they're cool, and worst case scenario, I could always use them around the house for decoration for Daisy each month. But I will likely try to flip these, but they are hilarious. I might keep them around just for a little bit and then list them at some point down the road. Like this one would be hilarious to just put out, you know, for November, or, you know, we could even put this one out right now since October's right around the corner. So they really crack me up. Let me know which one is your favorite. I've got to go with, I'm going to say the Pilgrim one is my favorite one. That's hilarious. Daisy, which one's your favorite? Which one's your favorite? All right, everyone, so we are back in the shed. As you can see, we don't have a ton of sunlight left because it's the first day of fall. So I gotta act fast before we run out of it. Maybe next year I'll get some electricity for the shed, but right now we're just doing it au natural. So you just saw me pick these up at that horror and science fiction festival. Now there are some duplicates in here, but they're new old stock, so they've never been used. They are vintage items. What I want you to pay attention to here is the brand name. If Don, the auction professor, is watching this, he could tell you about these. These are great items. This paper sells really, really well. Vintage Halloween stuff. Eureka is the company name that I want you to see there. So he wanted $3 a piece for these. That would have been over $180 because I counted them out, and there's 63 of them here. I asked him how much for the whole box. You've got to do that when you're, looking to buy a lot of things and get the price down. So he said, how about $40, which would have been great, but I said, how about $30? And he said, sure, he'd do the $30. So that's an amazing pickup right there. Now behind him, he had some other items that were even more difficult to find, and that's these here. So we've got one of the Frankensteins here, and this is by a different company, C.A. Reed. It's very difficult to find comps on these. This one, because there's just not many of them around, and there's like 5 or 6 of these. And the cool thing about them, if I could take one of them out, is that these are double-sided. So actually, I don't even have to take them out. You could just see here. There's like 5 or 6 of them in here. He originally wanted like just $30 for the Frankenstein. Then he wanted $30 for everything, and I wound up getting it all for $20. So total, all of these, which is about 70 pieces, I wound up getting for $50. So I paid about 70 cents a piece. Some of these things are gonna, like in combos, I could just put like 2 of them together, like a Frankenstein and a Dracula, and easily sell them for like 30 bucks. So I'll make my money back pretty fast. And Halloween, by the way, don't just think with Halloween items that they only sell around Halloween. Halloween is a culture. There are some people who live Halloween all year round, and they're always buying Halloween stuff. So that's just a good thing to know about that. It's one of those holidays. Another thing that I wound up getting that I didn't get to talk to you about are these. This brand is Coogee, and the great thing about this brand is that it's always very flamboyant. It was made famous by the Bill Cosby sweaters. I actually used to have a Coogee sweater, and Mrs. Primetime hated it. She made me sell it on eBay. I drove her crazy. I wore it forever. But people love them. It later got popularized by Notorious B.I.G. Every cutie what a booty bought a Coogee. So these are popular. This exact one, which is called the Conquistador, just sold pre-owned for $53. I wound up getting all 3 pairs of jeans for, I think, around $11 it was. The other 2, which, I figured $11 for the 3 pairs, $11 would have been good just for that if they sell for $53. But this brand, TK Axel, I don't see it around too much, but if you look up the comps on it, it does sell well. Both of them are the same. They're 32 by 30, so 2 of the same type. So that will go in a nice bundle to someone and save me on shipping rather than listing both of these separately. So my goal would be to get around $30 to $40 for the pair. So we'll see what happens with those. You can see back here, I've got the box of comic books. I didn't tell you what I paid for that, but I'll tell you in just a second. I flipped through it when I was there, but I couldn't show you all the titles. There are some really good ones in there. There's some Dark Shadow ones. Now, they're all new. They're not vintage books, but new ones could be good too, as long as the titles are neat and they're in pretty decent condition. And these are all near mint condition Buffy the Vampire Slayers. You could see right here. So this stack alone, I'll probably get my money back for what I paid for the box. When I saw that 25-cent sticker on there per comic, I said, wow, that's pretty cool, because you normally don't see that. Like the cheapest you will normally see, even at flea markets, is typically around $1 a piece. So I said, wow, if it's just decent, I can make my money back by making a lot offer to the guy. So I counted them all up. They weren't bagged and boarded. So normally a short box like that, if they were bagged and boarded, would hold around 140, 135, just depends on the thickness of the books. And I counted them up. Some were bagged and boarded, but most of them were not. So there was about 185 of them in there. So he asked me to make him an offer, and I offered him 20 bucks. And so he said 20 bucks is fine. There was no counter offering today from any person I purchased from. So that worked out great because I got them for about 10 to 11 cents per book. So there's one more item that I want to show you. It's this guy right here that we got at the beginning at that VFW. He is challenging to identify if you're not already familiar with him because he doesn't come with a tag or a sticker that would help you identify him. Now, if you are from the East Coast, he may seem familiar to you. Let me know down in the comment section if you did recognize him. But this is Mr. Six from the Six Flags Great Adventure theme park. He's hard to find. He doesn't come around too often. But if you could find him and if he works, there's some good money in it. So right now, the cheapest that you could find this for in working order is $50 on eBay with 6 watchers. One recently sold for right around $40. So when I found that I could just pick them up for a few bucks, even though I didn't have the battery that would tell me if he works, see what happens, you squeeze this down here and he's supposed to do a dance or something like that. But someone would still buy something like this for display. So for such a minimal investment, it was worth it if it didn't work or not. But we need to check out if he works. Now, he comes with a little battery. It's one of these little small batteries right here. So I'm gonna go out right now to the store after I clean those shutters up for Mrs. Primetime, and then we will go and see if we could get him working. And you can see here, by the way, before I leave the shed, that this is just a helpful place to just keep these big oversized items so they don't clutter up the house. The golf bag is still here. It's probably not going to sell until springtime because it's just out of season right now, but that's okay. Didn't spend anything on it. It'll just stay there over the winter if it needs to. I put the strainer right here for now, and I'm just constantly rotating stuff in and out of here, getting it listed, and putting more stuff in, and that's what it should be like. So I don't necessarily feel like it has to be completely filled yet. I'd actually kind of be bummed out if that was the case because I just got it. So, it's a fun place to kind of hang out too. And, things are just moving along. You can see here we're whittling down on the Star Trek toys. A lot of those have been selling. Not many of the trains are left. So things are moving along, folks. So Mrs. Primetime doesn't want anything to do with cleaning this yellow stuff off of here. She doesn't know what it is. I don't either, but I'm going to just spray it down. So we'll just have it nice and clean both sides, and we'll bake it in the sun tomorrow. It doesn't matter. It's not going to damage the wood at all doing this. So just going to spray them down. All right, perfect. It's already starting to rain, so that's going to get them even more clean. But look what a little water does. It's amazing. They're really looking good already. No, I don't have a tree inside that you could sleep in tonight. This guy, I don't understand. Anyway, before we turn to him, I'll just give you a couple updates. First of all, with Mr. Six, the Great Adventure guy, I could not find a replacement battery in the local store. So, like a local drugstore. So I'm going to have to go over to Walmart or something to just, check out a place that would have a bigger selection. So I'll give you an update on that sometime soon. So hopefully, maybe I could swing by there tomorrow or something. I will show you. Want to see something that's sold today? Yeah. Okay. So it's costume time, Halloween, and this one sold right there. This is the SWAT girl outfit. So I got this at the flea market about a year ago. Just held on to it. You really like that one, huh? Yeah, he likes it. He's laughing. So this one sold for 25 bucks. I picked it up for a couple bucks at the flea market. So we will, or I could have gotten it at a garage sale too. I'm not even sure, but regardless, it was a nice return on investment for that one. So hopefully tomorrow I'll show you some more sales and stuff, but I really got to wrap things up tonight. Just a lot of things going on, and I've got to decide what we are going to do about this guy here. So like I said, his value is worth up to about $65, but you're really, really brown nosing here on video. I mean, he's been giving me compliments all day, saying all sorts of stuff. I don't think he wants to show his voice right now for the camera, so, right? No, first time on YouTube. Yeah. So, okay, you're going to have to let me know. Do you want want to see him anymore or not? Do you just want me to sell him, or do you want to see him in more videos? Do you just want to see him every once in a while? I wouldn't put him in every video, but you know, do you just want to see him once in a while? And should we give this guy a name? And if so, what do we name him? I'm not sure. Do we give it some kind of primetime name? What do you think? Primetime name? You don't know? You don't know? Kind of like a shoulder shrug there. Yeah, I don't know. So we'll have to see. I mean, just let me know. Give me some feedback. Stay tuned right after this little clip ends right here where I tell you about all the social media links. Stay tuned for like a little kind of blooper item between us that happened today. It was something, I'll tell you that. But hang on for that in just a second. All right, now, if you like this video, make sure that you smash that like button. Smash it. Oh boy. Make sure that you look up top. There's the subscribe button, and make sure that you subscribe. And if you want to join the Facebook group, the Facebook Reselling Resource Center, the link to that is down below. How did you know it's down below before I even said it? The link is down below, as well as the Instagram. The Instagram channel is down below as well. So come out, check out all those links. Stay tuned for the blooper reel. We're going to go to that estate sale tomorrow, and I'm going to skip the flea market because he was giving me a guilt trip about not being able to come. And also, I've just got so much stuff to do and I got so much stuff also that I really don't need to go. So we're going to go over to the estate sale tomorrow. Have fun and stay tuned for the next video, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this one. Take care. Hey, we better get out of here. The police are coming after us. Oh my gosh. Man, me and you are like bandits, right, buddy? Oh my gosh. You hear those sirens behind us? Well, we're hiding. We're hiding out. We're hiding out from them. We don't want them to catch us. That's right. All right. I think they just passed us by.